Hey guys, what's up? It's Catrice, and I am so excited to have a party with you. What kind of party? A vision board party, of course. I am so excited to help you create a vision board for your desktop wallpaper. And we're going to be creating this desktop wallpaper using one of my favorite programs, Canva. Now, before we dive into how to create this desktop wallpaper, there's a couple things I need you to know. First, why are we creating this vision board and placing it on our laptop or our computer setup? And hopefully, the answer to that is obvious. We need to put it in a place in which we are bombarded by these visuals on a regular basis. That's the only way that the vision board has any chance of working for you. If you don't use your laptop or your computer that much, no big deal. You can actually download Canva to your phone or you can use your laptop to create a wallpaper for your phone too. So this is going to be a really cool way for you to have a boost of creativity and also a visual that is going to help remind you to run swiftly in the direction of your goals and in your dreams. So, before we dive into Canva and how we're going to create this, it is crucial for you to have good vision for your vision board. You can't create this thing if you have no idea what what journey you are on, what you are hoping to create for your life, for yourself, for your family. So take a few minutes if you haven't already, but you have, I'm sure. But take a few minutes, write some things down so you know what's going to be put on this vision board. And so you can make the vision board work for you. All right, let's jump into it. We are going to go to www.canva.com. Canva, CANVA.com. And when you get here, you are going to be met with this awesome design studio. That's all Canva is. It's a really cool place where it has lots of different elements, lots of different font styles, lots of different templates that will help you create something faster because it already gives you the inspirational boost. You kind of just have to look at things and pick and choose. So I will also say when you get to Canva, you're going to have to sign up for an account. And as much as I love Canva, and I love it so much that I have paid for the premium version of Canva. But before I ever paid for the premium version, I used the free version. And I would actually recommend the free version if you don't have something specifically that you're using Canva for. The difference between the two is that you are able to get to an end product faster and you have more of the elements and templates available to you. But honestly, it lets you play around with it so much that if you're just patient, the free version should work just fine for you. So, all right, let's go back to it. We're going to jump back into our design studio called Canva. And when we get here, again, we're met with all of the inspiration and templates and things that we can do to create this desktop wallpaper. As we're looking at creating the wallpaper, there's a million things that you can create on Canva. So don't think that this is the only thing. Most people use it for flyers, other people will use it for posters, some people will use it to do mock-ups for t-shirts or hats or mugs. Some people will seek out resume templates on it. And the thing that I think I see the most are flyers and posters, maybe newsletter templates, and probably business cards. But today, the vision board, because now, after all that chatting, you have your list written out and you're ready to go. So we're going to get here and we're going to type desktop wallpaper, and I don't have to even type the whole word because computers are smart enough to make a guess, and they're pretty close. So I am going to click the desktop wallpaper, and then you are brought to all the inspiration that is. So right here, you can create a blank desktop wallpaper. So that means it's going to give you a clean screen, and you can do whatever you want on that. The cool thing about creating it from here, it will give you the exact dimensions of the wallpaper, which can be important. Or you can just scroll through these options here. So as you're scrolling through, you just make a decision on what you think may suit your fancy. When you find something where you're like, yeah, that is what I want on my desktop wallpaper, you're going to go ahead and click on that. And then I already picked one out just to make things faster because I didn't want to be scrolling for a long time trying to find something. So when you click the one that you are interested in, then it's going to bring you to that and it's going to say customize this template. Now you'll notice here, that's where you're going to start to see whether or not the template is the premium version or not. In a lot of cases, depending on how you're using this, you could probably use this version. At least I'm under the impression. Please reach out to me and tell me if I'm wrong so that I can correct this. But you can use this and it just gives you the Canva watermark on it. And you have to pay for it to be removed. That's my understanding, but I haven't used the free version in a while. So if I'm wrong on that, let me know. But what you're looking for is, if you're using the free version, nothing that has the little crown royalty mark on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one. I'm going to customize this template and it's going to bring me all the way into the design studio. So now we're in. So everything you need to create a desktop wallpaper is going to be here. So this is my outline. Am I a little bit extra? Yes. You don't need anything other than this screen and everything over off to the left-hand side. So everything in your menu, anything that you see me add as far as pages and stuff is just because I'm being extra. So, and because I want to make sure you understand how everything works. So I am going to start actually by adding a page because the first thing over here is the design. So I would go in here and maybe I would see something else that inspired me. And so I would click on that secondary inspiration, or maybe I'm not sure if I want to use the first one or the second one. Again, me being extra, if you chose the template that you like, go with a template. But just know that you can change the original template. So if you don't add the page, it would just replace this. But if you do add the page, it adds it below. All right, now we're going to get into the elements. So the elements is kind of like your clip art. This is where you're going to go and you're going to pick out the things that you want to put on your vision board. You're going to pick out things here in elements. Another place to pick out things are going to be down here in photos. So you're going to take your list and you're going to look at it and you're going to say, all right, what is it I want on my vision board? And so one of the things that I know that I want to do this year is I want to grow red tulips in one of my garden beds. Like I want to walk into my side yard and have just a beautiful flush of red tulips in the springtime. So in order for me to do that, I have to plan for my tulips now, because it doesn't work that way. You don't just have tulips in the spring, they need a cold period. So I would take this picture and that would be one of the elements for my vision board. Easy enough. See, I'm going to go click my elements, click my photos, figure out what it is I want, type it into the search, and then boom. So once I get the picture here, this is where I can start to move things around. Obviously, it dropped it in. It's really large, which is unnecessary, but you can just grab one of the corners as long as it's highlighted and drag and drop the size of this photo. So if also I wanted to make it or cut off some of it, I could grab the longer like dash lines to make it shorter or longer. And then, yeah, so I would just make this as big as one of these photos, probably, and drop it into place. Easy enough. Let's go back and I'm gonna revisit this list and I'm going to try to search for something else. So I'm going to clear this out and then I'm going to search for a dining nook picture, which I had already started to search for. And this is where things are going to start to slow down a little bit for you because you want to make sure that you're being really particular. And I have a whole bunch of things already picked out for this. It's going to be like the most comfy, cozy, just cozying on down into fall and winter spot. We spend a lot of time in the dining room. And so I just want to make it more cozy than it already is. So I would click on Dining Nook, and then I would either decide whether or not I wanted graphics or I wanted photos. I do want it to be a little bit more visual, so I'll click photos, and then I'll have to start scrolling through these. The last time I started to scroll took me a long time, so be patient with yourself. But the cool thing is I actually don't have to scroll through these photos if I didn't want to, because I know the elements of the dining room that I want. And I could honestly just go to those websites and do a quick clip of the settee that I'm going to get, hanging lanterns that I'm going to get, table, the side table that I'm going to get. I could do a clip art of all those things and kind of just do a mini mood board within my vision board. But this kind of encompasses the mood. It's not necessarily like how my house looks, but when I look at this, it does it pull like the mood moves me. So I would go ahead and use this as my chosen photo. Same thing, I'm just gonna drag, drop, pull, and then put it on my vision board somewhere. All right, you get the idea. The next thing that we're going to do here in your text is where you're going to add your text. Sorry for not having anything more fancy to say. So we're going to add our large heading, a subheading, and the body here. So big, better, best. And then from here, you just go back in there and click it. And if you double click on it, now I have the flashing cursor in here and I can add words. So I'm just going to change this to this. And then while we're here, it's hard for us to read this. So I'm going to click off of this and then give it one click. You'll know the difference if you have the flashing cursor. And I'm going to go up to the top here, and this is where you have the option to change the font. You can change the size, but remember, you can also change the size by dragging that corner. You can change the color, which we obviously need to do because they can't see it. And then you can do strike through, uppercase, the alignment. It's just like you're using Word, but all of those elements are just right up here at the top. The kerning or the letter spacing here and line spacing, you would just, if this were paragraphs, you could increase the amount of space between each of the sentences. And also just because it's one word, I can increase the space between the letters. You can click on effects, and so you can change how this looks here. Or if this were going somewhere where you can have some animation in the background. You can animate it, it can fly in, zoom in, all the fun stuff. So I think this style, I don't know if it's still pretty popular, but it has been in the past. Most people really appreciate the look of the type in. And then the position here, and this is just going to position whether or not it's on top of all of the pictures right now or behind. So if I say backward or to the back, it goes all the way to the back. If I put to the front, it starts to come forward. Um, and that's all that is. This really helps when you start to have pictures and there's stuff behind it. So eventually, as I start to lay stuff over, I'm probably going to go here. I'm going to shift this to the back because I don't need this picture on top. So I'll just hit the quick delete button. You can see there's other options for you to use here, but you can just hit delete and then it's gone. Let's go back into the text because there's a few more things that you can do here. If you scroll down, there is more text for you that is already put together. So if you go through here and you see something that you like, you would just put it in here. So let's scroll back up and we'll do this one. So again, I just dragged that corner, made it smaller, and then I'm looking at this and I can't grab the notes behind this. So I'm going to go here, more. I'm going to go to my layers. You can also show the layers. This is the part that gets to be a little tricky, like all the layerings and stuff, but you can show them to see where it is and it will move the layers as you move this. But the easiest thing I find is usually to move this forward, or you can just do it the long way and move it up and delete it and then move it back. I guess it's not even the long way. It's probably just as fast. So I'm going to put this here for now. You'll notice when you click on this, it says ungroup. When you use these types of texts, they have grouped them together so that they travel together as a unit. Anything that you have already created on here, you could actually hit this, hit the shift, hit this, this, and then you have the option to group that if you would like, just so that those things don't get out of sorts. So that's just something else you could do. Or if you see that it's grouped and you don't want them grouped together, you could ungroup them and then change where you put them at. Make sense? Okay, cool. All right, the next thing that you're going to, or that we're going to look at is your uploads. So in your uploads, that's where all your pictures and stuff are. When you're creating this vision board, I would recommend you go through, you find the pictures, you find the mood, you find the idea. You can always come back to this and then add in or recreate pictures. They do have really awesome options for you to create pictures using the AI generators within Canva, but you can use any of the AI generators that you're familiar with and then come back to this and upload those pictures here. So as I am scrolling through this, I know that there's a couple of things that I want to focus on. We usually do a book club every year, so I'm going to add this picture of me in here with a book because it makes sense to do that. I'm going to go ahead and delete this and delete that because I don't think that I'll need those. So I'll leave that here. And then this reminds me that I usually do interviews with students. So I don't know that I want to use any of these photos, but I think I do want to use another element. And so I'll just type in YouTube. I'm gonna see all, and then I'll figure out which one of these I like, if any, keeping in mind that you have options to scroll through up here at the top. Funny because I like this, but pardon me while I play around. We're going to do the play button because it's not necessarily like I'm doing YouTube. I just house those videos on YouTube. Oh, I like this one better. Just the color I like better. So again, I'm just going to drag the corner, drop it, and place this in here. That's pretty much what you're going to do. I was also reminded, like when you're creating your vision board, you really want to make sure that one, you put yourself in your vision board, two, that you put things that you like in addition to the goals that you're chasing. So whether or not you're chasing health goals, wellness, money, mindset, um, friends, family, career goals, education goals, you would go in here and you could type a picture of a graduation hat, or you can go and see if somebody will let you borrow a graduation hat and then take a picture of that and upload it and put it on your vision board because it's the most specific thing that you can do. In addition, is I would actually include something that makes me happy. So in the past, one of my goals was to get a puppy, and we were just never in a place where we could do that. But now we have a nice little yard and the cutest little puppy in all the land. And she's a little terrorist, but she's sweet most of the time. And who wouldn't want to look at this sweet little face? Look at it. It's so cute. I actually like this picture better here than I do there. So I'm going to move her just right there. And this is going to help me come back to this vision board to look at it again, because who wouldn't want to look at this sweet little face? She's so cute. Okay. What else can I, oh, of course, we need to go back. There's like four different ways that you can generate your own pictures within Canva. So, um, I'm just going to go back to the elements. I'm in the play button. I don't need to be in the play button, so I'll just click out of that. But right down here in elements, it says generate your own, which is really exciting. So hopefully you have some idea of what it is you want to be doing, and you can generate your own picture. So one of the things that I would like to do is we would like to go on like a train trip. I think we want to do it in the wintertime. I don't know if you've ever been on the Amtrak train. It's one of my favorite things to do because there's like space and you can like stretch out. And depending on which direction you go, if you head from Grand Junction back over towards the Denver area, like the terrain is just, it's really, really pretty and it's really relaxing. So I'd like to do that, or maybe do the coastal one. I think there's one that goes along the coast of California. So anyway, we'll start with the train one. So I want to generate vibes of coziness, winter, train, ride. So that's what I'm going to type. Cozy, winter, okay, train, ride. And then we're gonna hit that and see what we get. All right, cool. So these are pretty cool photos. I actually like this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the bottom because I don't know if you get to keep these pictures, but I'm going to click this one just so I have it, just in case. But I am also going to um, add from inside to see if we get something different. All right, this one is closer. Um, Generate more like this. All right. Love where we've gone with it. It's not the perfect picture. Go ahead and click on this. And I think this is probably a really good spot for this picture. So let's go ahead and delete these. Put this in here. We're going to shrink this down just a little so that we have that there. And then this is overlapping this is overlapping this, and this is overlapping that. So we're going to delete those. And then I'm going to just leave that there, maybe. And then we have a few more pictures that we can put in. I forgot that I had this down here for some of my inspiration. So honestly, I love the little moments here. I kind of like all of them. So I can actually just click that and drag it upwards and drop it in. So that's what I'm going to do. So give me a second. So I think that is pretty much the gist of the the main things that I would encourage you to use to quickly make your vision board. I could probably go ahead and knock this out. I was noticing this here. I thought that was interesting. So as I'm knocking this out, hopefully you have your laptop pulled up and you start clicking around so that you start to feel comfortable with using this program, because that's the idea. The final thing that you need to know is how to move this from this program to your desktop, or maybe you want to share it with someone else. So you're actually going to go over here to the share button and you're going to click share. And then from here, you can copy the link to send the link so somebody can view it, or you can download it. So I'm going to go ahead and download mine. I have a lot of pages here. I don't need all those pages. So I'm gonna unselect all those and just select page one. I'm gonna go ahead and click done and then download. And then I just need to wait for it to download. Once it downloads, it's gonna populate up here and I can just click on this folder. That's where the link will be for the photo that you just downloaded. It should match. So the name that you see right here, when you click open the folder, I assume it's going to be the first one right at the top. Hey, what's up? Editing Catrice here. And as I was going back through the video, I noticed that the program stopped recording or won't record my desktop for some reason. Not really sure. So I just want to give you the step-by-step verbal information of what you need to do to finish getting that wallpaper on your desktop. So what you're going to do after you have gotten the file for that, you're going to go to your desktop and then you're going to right click on the desktop. Toward the bottom there should be an option called personalize, and then when you click on the personalization, find the background option. From there you're going to browse and then you're going to pick the file that you just created, and then you're going to attach that to the wallpaper. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry I couldn't get it on video. I did try, but didn't work. So back to the original video. That was as thorough of an explanation as I could give, I think. But Canva's always changing. They have updated all kinds of things. There's all kinds of things this program can do. So if you have any questions for me on how I can help you with Canva or navigating Canva, I'm happy to help as much as I can help. Otherwise, I would love to see the vision board that you created. So drop those in the comments below. And maybe also, I'll see you in another video. If not, I wish you the best in your vision of the life that you are trying to create. You deserve all the most awesome things and more. All right, we'll see you around. Take care. Bye.